As we've already noted, there are potential problems associated with chemigation. Carelessness or an accident could endanger you, your family or neighbors, livestock, wildlife, and certainly water resources. Federal and state laws and regulations have been enacted to help reduce risks. Prominent among them is the 1986 Nebraska Chemigation Act. The Nebraska Department of Environmental Quality is responsible for enforcing that law. At the local level, natural resources districts share enforcement responsibility. As a chemigator, you need to be knowledgeable about both the law and pertinent rules and regulations. This presentation is intended to provide information you need to be in full compliance as you chemigate. We'll begin with one of the federal laws, the Federal Insecticide, Fungicide, and Rodenticide Act. It's commonly referred to by its acronym, FIFRA. Responsibility for administering that law rests with the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA. The EPA Office of Pesticide Programs is responsible for approving or disapproving pesticide product labels. They also can require pesticide manufacturers to change product labels. That's exactly what happened in the mid-1980s. Pesticide manufacturers were directed to state clearly on product labels whether or not that product could be used in chemigation. Pesticide labels must either permit chemigation or prohibit it. Therefore, before chemigating with any pesticide, make certain the label allows this method of application. If chemigation is permitted, the label will state the types of irrigation systems through which the product can be applied. Sites or crops on which the product can be used will be listed, along with directions for safe, effective use. EPA further ordered that labels list anti-pollution safety equipment that must be installed and operating properly before injecting a pesticide. EPA's requirements and those of Nebraska are similar, but Nebraska's are somewhat more restrictive. Accordingly, we will discuss anti-pollution safety equipment in more detail later in this presentation. Pesticide labels and any supplemental labeling have the force of law. Using a pesticide in a manner not consistent with its label violates FIFRA. Violators can be prosecuted. Pesticide labeling is important for another reason. FIFRA classifies pesticides either for general use or for restricted use. You must be a certified pesticide applicator to purchase and use a restricted use pesticide. This is not the same as being a certified chemigator. In general, if you wish to chemigate with a restricted use pesticide, you must be both a certified chemigator and a certified pesticide applicator. The Nebraska Pesticide Act also contains provisions pertaining to restricted use products. If you apply a restricted use pesticide, you must keep a record of that application for 3 years. The application method does not change the requirement. Contact your UNL Extension educator for specific details. Another important label provision is the personal protective equipment that handlers and applicators must wear. For some products, the requirements are minimal, but for others, extensive measures are needed. Occasionally, you may need to use a product that has a restricted entry interval. This is a period of time after application when entry into a treated area is prohibited. Certain other federal laws may also have some implications if you chemigate. For example, if there is runoff from your chemigation site into a stream, river, pond, or wetland, you may be violating provisions of the Clean Water Act. Backflow of water and or chemicals into an aquifer that is used as a public drinking water source would violate the Federal Safe Drinking Water Act. Damage to habitat of an endangered species would violate the Federal Endangered Species Act. Federal bulletins have been issued for a number of Nebraska counties where this is a potential problem. For detailed information on these and other federal laws that may affect you, contact your Natural Resources District office or the University of Nebraska Lincoln Extension office in your area.